Next, we'll look at user-defined fields for the header. In UBS Stock Control System, you have the option to add additional user-definable fields to your transaction header record. To do that, you go into Housekeeping, Run Setup, General Setup. And if you go to page 2, now across the page here, each of this column corresponds to a transaction that's available in UBS Stock Control. Now this represents the delivery order, invoice, cash sale, credit note, debit note, sales order, quotation, purchase order, goods received, and purchase returned. Now, down the page here are additional fields that you can use to tailor, i.e. to change it to suit whatever name of the field that you wanted to add to your transactional table. Say for example, if you look under invoice, against invoice you have purchase order number and the delivery order number tick against it. Now let's go into the invoice and you will understand how that setup actually affects the look of your invoice. Now I'm just going to transaction invoice. Now this is the invoicing module. Now as you can see, against the invoice I now have the option to enter purchase order number and the delivery order number. Now assuming that I also need to charge the customer freight charges and I would like to record details about the freight as part of my invoice. To do that, I exit from here and I go back into Housekeeping again, Run Setup, General Setup. And I go to page 2. Now against invoice, I'll now select Remark 0 and I'll tick it against it to say yes, I now want to include an additional field against my invoice header record, and in this case I'm going to call that field to be added freight. Okay, now when I exit from here and go back into transaction invoice again, you'll notice that now I have an additional field in my invoice header record that says freight. So this will allow me to enter details against the freight.